welcome. I think a lot of Arsenal fans in tonight, quite obviously.
A bit, yeah.
Now, when I watch you play, and I'm a great admirer of yours, it seems to me that you're such a natural player, that football is just part of you. Was that always the same? Were you always born to be a footballer, in a sense?
Well, I don't know if I was born to be a footballer, but when my dad took me in his arm for the first time, that's what he said. He said that I was going to be a football player, so maybe it was meant to be, I don't know, but I just love the game. So when I'm on the pitch, I just try to do what I do, even if I was in the back of a house or in a park. I just want to play football and just make people enjoy it.
But how old were you when your father picked you up and said you're going to be a footballer?
Oh, I was just born. Just didn't.
You were just a kid.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Before he said you're lovely, he said you're going to be a footballer.
Yeah, he didn't even say, well, I have a, as you can see, a big mouth, or maybe whatever, I look like him or look like my mom. No, he thought straight away about football. So there we go.
Let's talk about the area you were born in, because that was a tough neighbourhood, wasn't it? And we've seen recently all the trouble there's been in these estates around Paris, and you were born in one of them, weren't you?
Yes.
That's where you grew up?
Yes, it was pretty tough at the time, but I had a chance to have good parents. Yes. So I didn't understand at the time why I wasn't allowed to stay outside and do whatever my friends were doing outside. I thought they were the bad guys, my parents, and I soon realized that they were trying to protect me. It's not easy out there when you grow up in a bad neighborhood, because you kind of feel like you're not into the system. You're there, but you're kind of thinking you're out of it, and you're living in a kind of a second zone, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
People don't look at you the same way, or don't treat you the same way when you come from there.
And the problems about getting work and things like that, I suppose that's a problem as well. The discrimination against you in that sense.
Well, it's strange to use the word discrimination still in 2005. It's just like when you go out there and try to find a work, even if you have like all the diplomas that you need to have to get the job, people just like sometimes hear the town that you come from, or unfortunately sometimes hear your name or see the way you look, and sometimes they don't give you the job, and then sometimes it's not the way, it wasn't a good way to respond the way the kids are responding in Paris. But sometimes, when enough is enough, you're showing, your, in a bad way, maybe like they're doing, your anger. And, it's just a way to say that enough is enough, because when you arrive in this kind of situation, you try to have a job and you try to go into the system, and people try to keep you out of it. Then sometimes the only way to make people realize that you exist is that, doing this kind of stuff, even though I don't agree with it, because actually they're destroying where they are living.
Well, I mean, what we're seeing is a form of racism, and what we're seeing is an explosion, a protest against that form of racism. Now, you've used your fame in football to actually address the problem of racism in football. But first of all, let's establish your own personal experience of that. I mean, what has been the worst thing that's happened to you in football? What has been the worst example of racism against you?
Well, unfortunately, it does happen quite often when you go to play away in the Champions League, sometimes in Eastern European countries, which is they are not used sometimes to see people from other countries or different colors or believing in other things that they want to believe. It's just sometimes you need to know the background of people to understand why they're like that. But sometimes it's pretty tough on the pitch when you hear what you hear, and when people spit at you. It's a bit going too far for a game.
So you hear about the monkey chants?
Yeah, the monkey chants. Once we were playing away, and then some people in the crowd were spitting on me, and I went up to see the ref, and I said to the ref, I showed him all the spits on my shirt, and he basically looked at me and said, "What do you want me to do?" You're laughing about it, but I wasn't at the time. But once again, it's if you do react, then you're going to be again the bad footballer earning this amount of money, and then you don't behave properly on TV. I think sometimes people has to understand that we are human beings, and sometimes things, they hurt when you hear them.
Have you ever felt like walking off the field?
No, because I just think that the game doesn't have to suffer of it at the end of the day, because that won't be a good thing for the game. I think people who has to deal with this kind of situation should deal with them, but that shouldn't be the answer to walk out the pitch, because I love the game and I wouldn't do that because I love it too much.
But what about if everybody, all the players walked off? I mean, in support. And if you did walk off as a team and say, no, we're not going to play in front of you like you're yours, you know, that would surely have it, because it is a minority, and the majority might then take action.
True, you're right, but I still see it in a way that, you know, football shouldn't suffer of it. I know it can be a solution. For example, what happened in the game England against Spain away. People were suggesting that they should have walked out of the pitch, but...
I mean, you mentioned there, Spain, I mean, it was Aragonés, that's his name, the coach of Spain, he called you a black shit. And he also, he said terrible things about your mother. He's the coach of the national side.
Maybe he doesn't have a lot of vocabulary in his local... When I first heard of it, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. I remember we were on national team and someone came up and told me that, and I just went, yeah, right, you know, you're having a laugh, and, you know, I was just like, and then I saw it on TV, and I still thought that was a joke.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was like, you know, those kind of TV shows sometimes that you have tried to catch you on certain stuff. So even though I thought that would have gone a bit too far, but, you know, you never know. But once everyone came up to talk to me about it, I was just amazed. And, you know, and once again, people, you know, above or should be dealing with stuff didn't deal with them. So
no, they didn't. He's still the national coach.
Well, I mean, like I said to you, sometimes you try to find out history of people, history of a country, and find out why maybe he said it.
But what about this new campaign that you've started now? Because you see the basic problem now as being, I mean, your first campaign that you did with the football authorities, I think you sold 5 million armbands against racism. That's one thing, but one wonders really, you know, what really the effect you did have. But you quite rightly, I think, identified the real problem as being with young people, didn't you?
It is, because I do remember when I was young, you know, I'm kind of strong mentally, so kind of, I won't say I knew how to deal with it, but, you know, as I'm a bit stronger, I try to rise above stuff sometimes, but I knew some friend who couldn't handle it. And I know, you know, that's why the 14 Foundation will be out there to help kids, to make them aware that race is not an issue if you want to achieve things.
But have you observed, as a player, have you observed young people sitting with their parents making racist remarks?
Unfortunately, yes. Yes, because sometimes when you arrive in some places to play a game and you see the kids doing some stuff or saying some stuff and you see the dad laughing. So that's why sometimes you have to... It is difficult because you can only do what you've been told. And it is difficult to go in the house of someone and educate them. But if you can somehow use your fame and speak to the kids and make them aware that it's not only one situation, it's not only one way, then after they can make their own mind.
One final question on this. I mean, it's a hypothetical question. I'm not asking if you're going to leave Arsenal and go and play abroad. I wouldn't ask you that because I know you wouldn't answer. But they want to know. But I don't. But hypothetically, if indeed you were in a situation where you could play abroad, would you actually turn down playing in a country such as Spain that we've been talking about now, where racism seems to be a routine part of football life? Would you not play there?
Well, I'm going to answer that question really. That's going to be pretty easy. Well, before I went to play for Juventus in Italy, they had some major problem about racism there. And that didn't stop me to sign for Juve. That doesn't mean I'm going to leave Arsenal. I'm just trying to explain and answer to your question.
Now let's. Well, Wenger, you mentioned there. Arsène Wenger is not so much your coach; he's been your mentor, hasn't he? Your career, because at Monaco, when you were a young boy, you went there, and he was the coach there.
When he left Monaco, I just went on, you know, doing stuff, going a national team, winning the World Cup with my national team, and just after that, I was just a bit in a kind of in between, starting to maybe be someone in football or being someone that people might know because I played for Monaco. Or if you're a Monaco fan, you will know me or whatever. And then I joined him again at Arsenal, and my career completely changed.
And what about fatherhood? Because lately you've become a dad.
Yeah.
Has this changed you at all? Has this changed your perspective, the way you look at things?
Yes, it did, because now everything that we do, it's for her, it's for my daughter. So basically, I don't know, I'm just speechless even now. You know, I just you know, left her before to come here, and I don't know, when I come home after a game, sometimes I'm a bit disappointed with myself. You know, I just see the smile on her face, and then that erases everything in my mind.
Is it better than scoring a goal against United? Is it better than that?
Oh yeah, it is. I have to say yes, because if not, I'm gonna get killed at home after. But to be honest, it's better.
It's better.
Yeah.
All right. Thierry Henry for the moment. Thank you very much indeed. Thierry Henry.